Memory of the game is ruining y'all experience. Spoilers for The Last of Us Season 2, Episode 5. Starting off this episode with a woman who recently sacrificed her son for the greater good was the perfect way to remind us that Joel was one, wilding, and two, Ellie's decision to enact revenge is honestly just for herself. More confirmation on that during this incredible scene here where Dina starts to talk about the first man she's ever killed. And although she tries to frame it as an act of revenge, was truly a moment of self-defense, right? That man came in, killed her mother and her sister, and then when he saw her, would probably have killed her too. Versus Ellie, who is tracking down a group of people who killed her father that she knows did it in retaliation to what he did in that hospital. Yes, he is a better man than me because honestly, I don't know if I'm gonna help him. Glad he had an attitude with Ellie because not only does she have him out there risking his life, but I'm sure he saw them smooching before they threw themselves in danger. The scene here was definitely a perfect display on how reckless Ellie is and how that puts other people in danger. Because yes, Ellie is immune, but there are other ways that they could die. And the infected are aggressive. I have to say the introduction of the stalkers and the spores develops danger in the story in a way that I think is very interesting. Because this virus is a parasite that is going to consistently evolve and change so that it can continue to live. And specifically with the stalkers, what I'm seeing is that this parasite is starting to evolve in a way where people are going to maintain some sort of sentience. How long before the infected become fully sentient? And then at that point, would it still be ethical to kill them? If you ever have a chance, I definitely recommend reading I Am Legend, watching the movie because it's totally different. And that's essentially what happens to the vampires in that book. And it brings up an ethical question that I think The Last of Us will be able to explore. Laura is the type of complex antagonist that I like to see. First scene in this episode is giving aid to someone who's wounded. And even when Ellie rolls up on her and here, she is in a hospital. So Ellie effectively just took out even more aid from the wolves. While she did taunt her about Joel's death, that's because she knew no matter what, Ellie was gonna kill her. It was her way of keeping some sort of dignity because it's clear that she regretted being a part of that. But obviously, Ellie won't ever be able to see through that and enact any type of mercy. It's interesting now to see that Ellie went down to this quarantine part because I have a sneaking suspicion that now these spores are going to be released into the air because of Ellie. Not only did Joel rob the world of a potential cure, now Ellie may be responsible for releasing a new version of the virus. I truly enjoyed this episode, every moment of it. Cold Open was by far my favorite. I found the rest of the episode captivating. And the set is bananas. So I'm going to go ahead and give this episode 5 out of 5 Frankie Flames.